Why did Sasuke only have one Rinnegan and not two? The Rinnegan is the baddest ocular power in all of Naruto, and only the real beasts managed to awaken it. Hagoromo, Madara, Sasuke. But when Sasuke's turn came, boom, he only popped it in one eye. Like, seriously, was that a mistake or what? No doubt, the Rinnegan is one of the most confusing and mysterious things in the whole series. We know it's purple and ridiculously overpowered, but beyond that, everything else is just straight-up mystery. And one of the biggest mysteries is tied to Sasuke. Why the heck was he the only one who didn't awaken the Rinnegan in both eyes? Personally, I think it's directly connected to the fact that he didn't smash that like button. Yep, he watched all the vids, all good, all nice, but he never hit like. Can you believe that? The Rinnegan is ancient. Like, we don't even know when this purple eye hype train started rolling in the Naruto universe. The origin we thought we knew was Hagoromo's Rinnegan. Kaguya came to Earth, stirred up chaos, and chomped down on the God Tree's chakra fruit. But that fruit wasn't some regular apple or peach. It was a chakra bomb, packed with the entire planet's genetic data. That thing made her awaken a third eye on her forehead, the Rinne Sharingan. But get this, when she ate the fruit and got all those cracked powers, she was already pregnant. Yep, she had two little horned Otsutsuki babies cooking in there. The older one, Hagoromo, ended up mutating just like his mom. But instead of unlocking a forehead Rinne Sharingan like hers, he awakened the Rinnegan in both eyes. I think that happened because of straight-up genetics. I'm not a scientist, but he probably inherited the Rinne Sharingan gene from her, and it got mixed up with his dad's DNA, who, by the way, according to the anime, was just a regular human. So that Otsutsuki eye power got watered down, and boom, regular Rinnegan. But whatever, that's not even the craziest part. We don't even know if Hagoromo was born with the Rinnegan already on his face. In the anime, they showed him being born with basic Otsutsuki eyes, which then evolved into the Sharingan, and later into the Rinnegan. But honestly, that whole Sharingan detour doesn't even make sense to me. Anyway, for anyone else to awaken the Rinnegan the same way Hagoromo did, they'd have to recreate some next-level Otsutsuki tier chakra. One way to do that was by combining the chakra of Kaguya's two sons, Indra and Ashura, and that's exactly what Madara did. He was already Indra's reincarnation, then stole some of Hashirama's flesh, who was Ashura's reincarnation. Mixed those two together like some wild ninja cocktail, awakened Six Paths chakra, and boom, the Rinnegan showed up. But then, the origin of the Rinnegan started getting real messy. 'Cause come on, we thought the Rinnegan started with Hagoromo as a watered-down mutation of Kaguya's Rinne Sharingan. But then, bam, Momoshiki shows up, another Otsutsuki. But this guy had two Rinnegan in his hands, bro, yeah. Dude had palm-powered eyes. So now we gotta ask, maybe the Rinnegan didn't start with Hagoromo after all. Maybe it's just another basic upgrade that any Otsutsuki can unlock once they reach a certain power level. So now we gotta ask, maybe the Rinnegan didn't start with Hagoromo after all. Maybe it's just another basic upgrade that any Otsutsuki can unlock once they reach a certain power level. But alright then, what about Sasuke? Sasuke also awakened the Rinnegan, but how did that happen? It's a bit confusing too. Some believe Sasuke awakened the Rinnegan due to the chakra he received from Hashirama. There are others who think Kabuto put Hashirama's cells in Sasuke when he was healing him, but I think both of these options don't make much sense. Of course, Sasuke was the reincarnation of Indra, and Hashirama was the former reincarnation of Ashura. But here's the thing, Hashirama is the former reincarnation, not the current one. This is because Ashura's chakra and spirit had already passed since Hashirama's death, and they were where? In the guy Naruto. Naruto was Ashura's reincarnation at that time. Hashirama had been revived, and was the former reincarnation. But the transmigration had already moved forward. So, for Sasuke to awaken the Rinnegan like Madara did, he would need to obtain a piece of Naruto, not Hashirama, who wasn't even Ashura's reincarnation anymore. That's why I think the answer to how Sasuke awakened the Rinnegan was with Hagoromo himself. We saw Hagoromo have a mental conversation with Sasuke, just like he did with Naruto, and in that, The elder passed half of his chakra to Naruto, and the other half went to Sasuke. So with Hagoromo's chakra, he awakened a Rinnegan. But here's the problem, one Rinnegan. Sasuke ended up awakening the Rinnegan only in his left eye, but why? Was it defective? Buy two, get one? The truth is, friends, there is no official answer to this. The series ended, Boruto began, and we still don't have an official answer to this. What I believe is the following. Kishimoto's favorite character is Sasuke. This isn't even a theory, it's confirmed. Uncle Kishi has said many times that his favorite is the emo. He wouldn't want to nerf Sasuke. But Peter, where's the nerf for the Rinnegan? Well, the Rinnegan is no nerf, but awakening the Rinnegan in both eyes does bring a small problem. The Sharingan goes away. When you awaken the Rinnegan, your normal eyes turn into Rinnegan. It's a mutation, and the Rinnegan becomes your new eyes. There's no on and off button like the Sharingan and Byakugan. The Rinnegan is always activated. You wake up and the Rinnegan is there on your face, imagine it. But Ascend Fuse, Madara deactivated the Rinnegan in the war. That was a fake Rinnegan awakened by Kabuto. But Sasuke deactivated the Rinnegan in the last. That was a total mistake in the movie. Just like Kishimoto forgot to give Boruto the Byakugan, he forgot to put the Rinnegan on Sasuke's face in the movie. The biggest proof that the Rinnegan can't be deactivated is the time travel arc, remember that? Boruto and Sasuke go back to classic Naruto and all. There Sasuke had to disguise himself so no one would recognize him. So he put on a black cloak over another black cloak, a little hat, and a patch on his left eye. Why would he wear a patch over the Rinnegan eye if he could simply deactivate it? Makes no sense. And with Sasuke awakening the Rinnegan in both eyes, he would lose both of his Sharingan. The Rinnegan is not an evolution of the Sharingan, guys. He wouldn't keep the power of the Sharingan with just one regular Rinnegan. The Rinnegan is a mutation. It's a different eye, always keep that in mind. So by awakening the Rinnegan in both eyes, he would lose many of his techniques. Amaterasu, Kagutsuchi, movement prediction, copying jutsus, and genjutsu. All that and more would be lost, and Sasuke wouldn't have them anymore. Sure, in exchange, he would gain several powers with the Rinnegan, but he would lose many important things from the Sharingan. Sasuke built his entire fighting style around the Sharingan, fighting using its mechanics, and Kishimoto always wrote it that way. It would be very problematic for Sasuke and for Kishimoto to develop an entirely new fighting style out of nowhere. The Rinnegan doesn't have the same powers as the Sharingan, so it would be very different. Kishimoto wouldn't have the guts to do that. A good proof of what I'm saying is the fact that Sasuke didn't awaken a normal Rinnegan. He awakened a Rinnegan with Tomoe, a supreme Rinnegan. There's no explanation for why he awakened that fancy Rinnegan either. It could also be something genetic. I don't know. But one thing is for sure, if Sasuke had awakened the normal Rinnegan in his left eye, he would have lost Amaterasu, because he used to launch Amaterasu with the left and controlled the shape of the flames with Kagutsuchi in the right eye. Can you imagine Sasuke losing Amaterasu, which is one of his signature techniques? That's why this Supreme Rinnegan thing worked out. Basically, it's a fusion between the Rinnegan and Sasuke's left Sharingan. That is, like I said, Kishimoto didn't want to give up Sasuke's Sharingan techniques and found a way to keep them there.